Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. I apologize if my beautiful face is not on the screen. I may be having some technical difficulties. Anyway, in this video, we're going to cover the impending IPO, initial public offering of an amazing company called Klarna, which is famous for buy now, pay later, the new trend sweeping the world where you can make 3 or 4 installments on a burrito. Yes, that's a thing apparently. So Klarna's going to IPO and we're going to dig into the numbers. Is this stock a buy? Is it going to vertical line to the moon? What do I think about it? Are you going to go all in? Am I going to go all in? We'll see. So where can you look to see when there's going to be new IPOs? Well, you go to NASDAQ.com/market-activity/IPOs. And you can see a list of companies that are going to IPO in September of 2025. And we got a decent amount here. HW Electric, et cetera, et cetera. And then, of course, we have Klarna, which is going to be ticker symbol KLAR. It's going to IPO on the New York Stock Exchange at a share price between $35 and $37. And they're offering 34 million shares. This is taking place on September 10th, which is very close to my birthday. Hint, hint, hint. Give me money. Thank you. Which is this Wednesday. So we're going to see the Klarna IPO. Very exciting. Now, thankfully, they actually have their results that we can already review. So we can start to understand what this company is all about. First of all, do they primarily make their money from buy now, pay later? We'll see. So they have the second quarter 2025 results here, and they have a man in a pink car, and this is clearly AI generated. There's no way this is a real person. Wow, thank God for AI. Changed the world. So second quarter results, $790,000 merchants, 790,000, merchants. The merchants are generally the ones that generate most of the revenue for Klarna. It's a payment processor, and it's a loan originator. The payment processor, how it works is when you buy something through Klarna, the merchant has to pay a fee. I know this for a fact because I use PayPal. And in PayPal, whenever somebody pays me, which you can do for tax preparation services or sponsored videos, see the pinned comment below, I have to pay a fee. PayPal makes money from the money that you send me. You don't see the fee come out, but trust me, the merchant, the vendor, does see the fee. So they have 790,000 merchants. And whenever somebody buys through Klarna, guess what? A little bit of that money that you spent gets pocketed by Klarna. It's like a credit card transaction fee. I mean, nothing outrageous about it. It's pretty common. How do you think credit card companies make money? Merchants are up 34% year over year in Q2 of 2025. 111 million active Klarna consumers, up 31% year over year. Gross merchant volume in 3 months, up 19%. This is the total value of the total dollar amount of money changing hands through the Klarna platform. Now, Klarna obviously wants to maximize the number of merchants and the number of gross merchandise volume, because the more volume is, the more fees they can charge. Okay. And some of that volume is generated by buy now, pay later, which is their loan, or even you could call it banking side of their business. So it's a payment processor and kind of a bank. That's up 19% year over year, and revenue is up 20%. So they were able to squeeze a little bit more revenue out of the transactions year over year than last year. So if you look at their take rate, which is the amount of revenue they generate per transaction, you take 823 million of revenue. I mean, think about that, 31 billion of transactions, but they generated 823 million of revenue. You divide the revenue by the gross merchant volume, and you get a take rate of roughly 2.6%. So basically, on average, every merchant is paying roughly 2.6%. Okay. And they probably have some revenue factored in from buy now, pay later, people that don't pay on time and are charged fees. But in general, they're making roughly 2.5% from gross merchant volume. That's just transactions on their platform. As long as they can keep growing those transactions and they can keep growing their vendor list and more people use Klarna, guess what? The more money they can make. Now, this may make you wonder, well, isn't there a lot of competition out there? Oh, yes, there is. There is a lot of competition out there. There's 100,000 different ways to send money. Okay. transaction margin dollars before provision for credit losses. So this is the profit that they get from transactions before credit losses. So you can see they had 823 million of revenue and they had 489 million of profit, which means they have roughly 59% transaction margin before credit losses. The credit losses are for clowns they lend money to. Oh, 3-4 easy payments, bro. Interest free. Some people can't pay the money back, and that's a default. And Klarna eats it. Okay. Klarna is a loan originator. And adjusted operating profit in Q2 of 2025 of 29 million. Always be careful with adjusted numbers. You never know. All right, so here's a message from the CEO. 20 years of Klarna. We hit these milestones. We're growing. Everything's great. 1 million of revenue per employee. Klarna's card, they have a card apparently, is becoming a preferred payment method across our most mature European markets. And yes, this I believe this started in Sweden. This Klarna has like the lockdown on Sweden. And they're pretty big in Germany, I think the United Kingdom, and now they're really pushing into the US market. And that is a huge opportunity for them because Americans love to finance stuff. If they can gain a lot of market share in America, they can make a lot of money. I'm just saying. Excuse me. So that's the initial overview we get from the company. And then they're basically summarizing what they said earlier. Oh, we have this many merchants and this much revenue. Let's see if they publish their financials. Before we do that, let's look at delinquencies. So delinquencies are basically somebody wants to buy something, but they don't have the money up front. So Klarna says, "Oh, don't worry, we'll cover you. We'll pay the merchant, and you just pay us back over 3 or 4 payments. And if you're late, Klarna is going to give you a no-no. But ideally, everybody pays their money back, and they generate more and more volume in their platform so they can generate more and more fees. Because think about it, you wouldn't have spent the money in the first place that you didn't have unless Klarna gave you the loan. So ideally, they want you to finance as much as possible so they can generate those fees from the merchants. Okay. So let's look at 60+ day group delinquency rates. So fair financing at 6 months. What's fair financing? And pay later. So we can see delinquencies are starting to trend down. It's actually surprisingly low delinquencies. It dropped from 3.23% for fair financing down to 2.23% into Q4 of 2024. Why don't they have the most recent data? That's interesting. And it's dropped from 1.31% in 2022 all the way down to 0.89%. So they're actually doing a little bit better with making sure that people aren't delinquent. Then again, this was during 2022, which was kind of like the popping of the bubble and the almost recession. So I don't know how accurate this is or if this is truly meaningful, but so far delinquencies are going down and that's really not a bad delinquency rate. Okay. 0.89%. All right. Customer obsession redefined. So they do all this marketing stuff, but basically they're a payments processor and they have a little credit card. Isn't that cute? All right. Group gross merchant volume acceleration. So you can see right here that their merchant volume is accelerating 15%, 18%, 24%. It's growing pretty precipitously. In the US, our largest market, and I think their biggest opportunity for growth, gross merchant volume continues to accelerate, reaching 37% in Q2 of 2025 and 41% in June 2025. We're also seeing strong growth across markets, with Sweden as our most mature market up 16%, and the UK up 38%, and Southern Europe up 74%. Okay, so they're still growing pretty precipitously. Okay, they added 202,000 merchants over the past year, so they grew their merchant base by 33%, roughly, or 40%. Pretty impressive. And let's see, Klarna Card has delivered strong performance, growing 42%, accounting for 10% of transactions. Okay, interesting. I want a Klarna Card. Increase scale, so they're covering their revenue here. So we can see they have disaggregated revenue. They have transaction and service revenue, and they have interest income. The interest income is probably from assets on their balance sheet and possibly they could be accounting for loans that they make or like the fees they charge. They could be including that in the interest income. But you can see the vast majority of their revenue for every quarter is transaction and service revenue. That's basically the fees they charge to merchants. So they're still growing pretty good. Transaction margin before provision for credit losses is growing precipitously, but you also want to look at the credit losses as well. But so far, at least according to that graph, they're doing pretty good. Provision for credit losses. Let's see. Realized losses as a percentage of gross merchant volume were 0.45% in Q2 25, a 3 basis point improvement from the 0.48%. So losses are going down. This shows the increase in absolute provisions for credit losses was not due to higher realized losses, but rather a result of increased provisioning. Okay, that's interesting. So they're saying that the provision for credit losses was higher because they provisioned a higher credit loss. I don't understand what they're trying to say there. It's almost like, well, if you're provisioning for credit losses, you're basically guessing what the credit losses are going to be in the future. That's the provision for credit losses. Whatever. All right. So let's see. Fair financing. I'm not sure what that is. Sounds very European. U.S. delinquency rates are dropping since Q1 of 2022. Okay. Everything's dropping, which is good because they don't want to lose money. U.S. pay later charge-offs. Months since origination. So they originate loans. It's like a bank. They give out a loan, but the loan is you're financing your burrito. And some people can't pay off the burrito because they're losers. Okay. You shouldn't be buying a burrito if you have to freaking finance it. But you can see that charge-offs over time, they kind of flatline after 6 months, roughly. Basically, that's like the culmination or the highest rate. The highest rate looks to be about just under 2%. And it seems they're really not having issues with credit losses so far, at least. Okay. So, but you want to pay really good attention to that. And of course, AI-driven efficiencies. AI adoption continues to deliver significant tangible results. As a result of this strategy, average revenue per employee reached 1 million. Yes, it's AI, bro. Totally AI. I don't believe that. Net loss was 53 million, which includes a one-time lease restructuring charge of 24 million to reduce our office footprint. Okay, that's okay. I mean, that's why they have the adjusted there, so you can see. They use adjusted earnings to show, to kind of exclude one-off events, but you should still understand why their real profit is what it is, because that can tell you an interesting story. A lot of companies have these, we're adjusted profits, and they add back all these sorts of ridiculous things to make themselves look better. Okay. But apparently AI is the reason that their revenue per employee is going up. Okay. All right. Let's look at their profits here. So year over year transaction revenue grew by 604 divided by 497 by 21.5%, and interest income grew by 33.5%. Processing and service costs grew by 29.86%. So it looks like, let me go back and check that. It looks like their processing costs are growing faster than their transaction and service revenue. And they've also increased their provision for credit losses by roughly 70%, which a provision for credit losses, you're kind of guessing you're accruing a contra asset account against your loans and you're recording an expense because you're kind of trying to predict losses that you could potentially incur on your loan portfolio. So it's a judgment call is what a provision for credit losses is. That's kind of like the funky math of accounting. Some of it is guesswork. You're trying to show the investor that, yes, we have all these loans, but we know some of these loans could potentially be charged off, and we're trying to reflect that to you on the balance sheet and on the income statement. So we'll see what that note is in a second. And then funding costs, advertising, I'm not sure, is up a little bit, about $27 million. Besides that, no really crazy growth in expenses. Depreciation's down. Share-based compensation is up a little bit, but nothing crazy. And they have a total operating loss of $46 million. So they're adjusted. Okay, so they're showing the adjusted operating profit here, but they're not including depreciation, share-based compensation, and restructuring. Those are all real expenses. Okay. So it wasn't just the restructuring that resulted in them having a loss. It was also depreciation, share-based compensation, and restructuring. So they're slightly unprofitable, but I'm sure they can become profitable if they cut some expenses. Okay. But overall, their metrics look pretty good when it comes to, like, gross merchant volume, active consumers. I mean, look at the number of consumers. It went from 88 million to 111 million. So it grew by 30%. Pretty impressive. And their merchants grew from 588,000 to 790,000. Average revenue per active consumer actually went down, though, to 27 versus 29. So they're making a little bit less money per consumer. A revenue take rate, 2.64%. And provision for credit losses went up. So here's the note here. Unlike the balance sheet, which shows a snapshot of assets and liabilities as each period, provision for credit losses in the income statement reflects provisions for the potential future losses and realized losses associated with all. Yes, exactly. Okay. It hits both the balance sheet and the income statement, but you're trying to show the investor what you're trying to match the cost of defaults to originations, basically. So they are saying, what they're saying here is they're taking slightly higher losses on these loans than they were in the prior year. That's what the provision for credit losses is. Okay, so let's see if they have the... Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, most of the growth is impressive, but my main concerns with this company, there's a couple concerns. First of all, there's a lot of competition in buy now, pay later. Okay. Every freaking company does this now. And ultimately, it's a payment processor. You got PayPal, you got Klarna, you got Afterpay, you got this, you got that. There's 1,000 different ways to send money. What makes Klarna so special? I don't know. I mean, they're showing impressive growth now, but at some point, they're going to peak out, and you kind of have to guess where that's going to be. Or you have to look and see, are they doing something unique that other payment processors are not doing? Oh, how it's unique? I don't know. To be perfectly honest, I have no idea. But overall, a lot of the metrics look good. They're growing rapidly. Their provision for credit losses really isn't that significant, and they don't just make money from from people they charge for late fees. Actually, when I looked at their filing statements, their primary moneymaker is just the processing fees that the merchants pay. So the buy now, pay later is part of it. That kind of drives transactions so they can collect the fee, but that's not the whole business. It's not just buy now, pay later. So that's my thoughts on that. All right, let's do some members only comments. I only answer comments for members. And if you don't like it, you can sue me and call a lawyer. XXXYYYZZZ111. When I was a super brokey, I used to order protein subs via Klarna and pay €50 in 12 months back plus interest. Well, I guess it was for your health, bro. At least I can think of worse ways to spend money. I should try to finance a burrito. It's like a meme, like a Chipotle burrito. 4 easy payments of $2.50 a piece. You sound like a VT investor. I am a VT investor. Wow, so unique. Never heard of buy now. Yeah, this is a new revolutionary concept. What's up, Mr. Why So Bluetooth, my little pay pig? You've been a good little boy. You comment on every video. Buy now, pay later is the future, bro. Yeah, bro. Klarna's special. It's unique. Klarna, my Arna. Pay pigs. They make their money from degenerates on food apps that have to split up their slop in 4 pay. That's part of the business. That's not all the business. You might hate them, but when YouTube starts allowing members to pay using Klarna, you'll love them. If you have to finance a $4.99 membership, just don't get the membership, okay? You have issues. You have a problem if you have to finance a membership on my channel, okay? And I know for sure, I bet you me, Kevin, and Jeremy are definitely going to take Klarna. Oh, yeah, you can finance their courses, bro. I'm here to tell you, if you need to finance my membership, don't do it. Amerifats and Amerilarge, that's true. Klarna's 1,000x stock thanks to Jeremy. Oh, is Jeremy shilling it? Touche, Alan. Strongman, you should take Klarna for your various grifts. No. Maybe for tax preparation, not for YouTube memberships. My business ain't. I prefer to just collect the money up front. That's all I do. Like when I do people's taxes, I just say, here's your quote. Here's the different processors you can use. It just seems kind of dirty to me. Like, ew, you have to finance my tax preparation? Ew, gross. Ugh. Why would I hire someone to do my taxes when you can't even spell the name of the company you're dedicating an entire video to? Oops. What are you talking about? The only thing I trust from Sweden is the hot blondes, but definitely not a Swedish fintech company like Klarna. Yeah, it's Europe. It's foreign, bro. I only trust American buy now, pay later. Klarna's going to the moon when they allow brokies to buy lottery tickets. Oh, God. I mean, I don't play the lottery, but I think you have to use cash, right? I don't think you're allowed, at least where I'm at. I don't think you're allowed to use like a credit card to buy lotto tickets. You should say accept Klarna for your overseas memberships. Klarna is way too crowded with Affirm, PayPal, Block. Exactly. That's my thoughts. It's like what's the competitive edge here? Maybe there's one that I'm not seeing, but you really have to do some serious DD. And I don't have time for that. Mr. H9 doesn't exist anymore. Aw, how sad. How unfortunate. Holy smoke, it ain't no joke, as Gil must have a life today. Alan sadly still hasn't stepped outside today. Here he is. Has SA wrote good about them like Dave. Has Seeking Alpha wrote good about them like Dave. Can see Capital Mindset Discourse start shilling this like Dave. The loan sharks, disgusting payday lenders, milking poor Americans and convincing them to spend money. I missed you, Gil. I'm down big today on Gil's stock pick. What? That's impossible. I'm down bigger. I added more today. Too cheap to ignore. Buy the dip, bro. What's your stock again, Gil? What was that stock called? The Therapeutics Company. Oh, man, Gil is here. He never missed. That's right. You better not miss a strongman video. Thanks for letting me know what you're doing, Gil. ZVRA. How's the stock doing today? ZVRA stock. Down almost 7%. Brutal. Brutality. That's the one. Alan, I am concerned that it ended at the low. Capital Mind, he's here. Let's go. Let's start fighting in the comments. Gonna see how it plays out. What clown summoned you? ZVRA. No thanks. When should we expect the market to start crashing and how much will it go down? ZVRA is trading cheap. It's low risk here unless someone knows something. We should ban these companies. Only the rich should have access to credit. Oh, he joined. He joined. Yeah. He missed me. He missed Daddy. He can't get enough of Daddy Long Dong. Yeah. Give me your money. Remember. You're addicted now. You can't stop. Oh, mommy, it feels so good to post on my channel. Never leaving. That's right. Give me money. 60. What is it? My brain's fried. $60 a year. How long are you going to underperform? Should we talk underperform what? What am I underperforming? Your random stock that you picked out? Oh, let me find a stock that went up more than VT this year. Oh, you're underperforming. Nobody is stronger than the dong. I literally posted a short of me bench pressing, and people still call me weak man. I could have benched 10,000 pounds, and people would still call me weak man. Dave is a sheep in wolf's clothing. Who gifted? I think he paid for it. He's addicted. Poor people should have access to actual good credit, not payday lenders and dumb buy now, payday later. Klarna is a phenomenal payment application. I use it. Yes, I misspelled it in the title. Sue me. If you need to use Klarna to buy something, it means you can't afford. That's true. That's true. This whole stream is just a troll. I'm trolling. What do you mean I'm trolling? What am I trolling? Hood is up nearly 500% since last year.
Look at this stock that went up more than VT. That means VT's bad because a stock went up more than VT. Did you know that some stocks go up more than VT? Really? I didn't know that. Yeah, you should just buy the good stocks that go up more than VT. It's easy.
Hood can suck by you know what. What a disgusting company. You want to talk about a gross company? Hood is a disgusting company. And when this clown market ends, whenever it ends, God help us, when it ends, Hood is going to collapse. I guarantee it. He's Omega long Klarna on the private market. He's going to get retail excited for the IPO so he can dump it. What's the limit on Klarna to buy crap? Well, apparently they have AI that does the DD. What are most people using Klarna to buy? They're probably buying like mid-price stuff, like I don't know, concert tickets. Most people are probably not financing burritos, just being honest. It's probably like a couple $100 expenses. Maybe, or maybe like a plane ticket. That's what I think people are using Klarna for. I would be very shocked if somebody was actually financing a burrito. Yeah, they do get trapped. I agree. I don't use Today free of charge as money I can invest at higher rates today. Klarna doesn't even have Hugh. What are the limits of Klarna? I added a GME and A. Oh, there you go, buddy. You're such a genius. LOL, bro. Haunt $300 on an investment while you pay for an item over 8 weeks isn't going to make you gain money, dude. Oh, let me use this $300 gamble in the stock market and fluff Paul while I pay in weekly payments. What's the difference between buy now, pay later, and a credit card? What is the difference? Let me think. I mean, it's really kind of the same thing. You know, as long as you make payments. The thing with buy now, pay later, if you make the payments, you don't pay interest. You know, so in a way, it could be preferable. If you can actually make the payments, it's actually preferable than a freaking credit card. A credit card, if you pay the minimum or you don't pay the balance in full, oh yeah, you're going to pay interest. So like if I had to, I could potentially use Klarna. Like if I had to buy a new roof, right? And the roof was $10,000. And Klarna said, "Oh yeah, we'll cover the roof, bro. You make 24 payments, interest free." I'd be like, "Deal." That's $100 in Palantir. You finance your burrito on a credit card already. It's because I choose to, not because I need to. I think that's a difference there. I think with a credit card, the reason I use a credit card isn't because I need to borrow money. It's because I want to get rewards points. That's the only reason I use a freaking credit card, to be perfectly honest. I get like 2% rewards from Fidelity. If I didn't get that, why use a credit card? There's no reason to whatsoever. So with Klarna, I think it's a little bit different because I'm not saying most people finance burrito. I think that's like a meme. I think it's kind of a joke. But with Klarna, I think people are actually using it because they don't have the cash to be able to buy it without credit. And by using Klarna, they can potentially avoid paying interest if they make the payments, unlike a credit card where if you make the minimum payments, you're going to pay interest. Lower fees and longer time to pay. Exactly, it's the same. It's not exactly the same. Klarna, if you are responsible and you don't pay any fees, it's actually a better deal. But obviously, there's a risk to that because if you have to finance something like that, you're already kind of not managing your money very well. Wow, such a shill. Klarna isn't allowed everywhere like a credit card. Bias clown. If I go to another country and want to pay, I can't pull out a Klarna card and pay in payments clown. I can pull out a credit card. Dead. We got our first Bitcoin treasury company today. I'm dead. Omega dead. You can with Affirm, you muppet. Never dead. Klarna is a terrible name, hard to spell. Remastered and better than ever before. Where are you? Come back. How's your cash position? Show off all your members strong, man. I will in the next. I got to end this video. I got one more video to do. It's fine. Gil had to go wash his mussy. Market hasn't even made a huge move since I went cash. Oh, you won't be. Oh, you're not going to renew your membership? How am I going to survive without Alan Carlson? Dude is addicted to me. I can't leave him. He won't be able to sleep tonight. Yeah, oh yeah. If you went away, I'd never survive, bro. How much has the market gone? Oh, okay. I can't do all these debate comments. Hey, Gil, SPY and QQQ at all-time highs. We were worried for a second. The market means nothing. Individual stocks will outperform. Really? Some stocks will outperform the index? I didn't know that. Wow, this is a revelation. Where's the crash? All right, well, you guys can debate in the comments. Everything at all-time highs, and QQQ is up nearly 30% since Strongman went to... I didn't go... Oh, my God. You see, you're such a little manipulator. You're like... Are you Kid Freshy? You're such a little manipulator. I didn't go cash. Do I need to pull up my portfolio? But then it doesn't matter. I'll show you my portfolio, and you'll still say I went all cash. I can show you audited financial statements proving that I'm like 92% VT, and you'll still say I'm all cash. That's the level of clown that I have to deal with on this channel. Let's see. Rates are going lower. I mean, I did see the 10-year kind of drop a little bit. You know, it keeps dropping. Might be a good time to consider buying a house. What are you going to do now? Buy at all-time highs? Well, I mean, no. So if you're talking to me, my plan is I'm hoarding cash now. I mean, I'm actually starting to buy VT again, but I wanted cash because I'm going to become self-employed. I need the cash as a buffer in case I have like bad months so I can survive and pay my bills. And the goal is to build up my self-employment income to where I can make good money doing self-employed stuff, and then I'll start investing again. And yes, I'll buy at all-time highs all day. If I'm making $100,000 a year self-employed, I'm just going to DCA every 2 weeks into VT. I don't care where it's trading at because it's a long-term investment. But I needed the cash as a buffer for self-employment. I've explained this 1,000 times. I don't know why this is so complicated. 300% cash. Agree with your points. Both of credit cards and buy now, pay later. It's about the user and how they are using it. No, if I could get a new roof and I got an interest-free loan, oh yeah, I'd take that in a heartbeat, bro. In a heartbeat. Because I know I could pay it, but there's lots of morons out there. Oh, I don't have cash. I spent all my money this month. Oh. All right. Everybody's debating in the comments. Don't forget to post a blue shill. I know. I've been so busy. Gonna have to delete the channel without Alan. I know. I'm done. I'll never recover. All these years on YouTube, and that's what did me in. Now it's self-employment. Have I not been saying for the past like 6-7 months what my plan is? Have I not been crystal clear about what I'm doing? I think everybody that watches this channel knows exactly what I'm doing. Okay? Except for you. Oh, yeah, of course you're a troll. But it's entertaining. It's fun. But you said last week it was for Timmy. Yes, my son's name is Timmy. What a name. I'm going to end my membership if he keeps putting up Dan's comments. Oh, come on. I know Dan personally. He helps me with the Discord, okay? That's my return to him. Don't get mad, stepsis. Don't get jealous. Don't get jealous, okay? Anyway, thank you, guys. We got one more video. Like, subscribe. Consider joining as a member to get your comments answered. And check out my tax preparation services. You can talk to me for free. I'll give you an upfront quote. We'll review your tax situation. I'll prepare your taxes, any state in the United States, business or personal. That includes S corporations and partnerships. I can do it all. Like, subscribe, tell your friends about me, give me all your money, and I'll see you shortly.